Well, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings Casino and some of the awesome things they're doing over there with that app. I mean, you can do your slot games, your table games, plenty of options right there on their app. It's a cool concept. It's pretty simple. Also, man, I'm talking, you play a little blackjack, do whatever you want. That's the dope part about it.
Why waste your gas and go to an actual casino when you just do it on your phone?
Exactly. It makes it that much simpler, my friends. And as we always talk about, when we're going to talk about anything, we have to have a promo code, some type of hookup for you, okay? And with DraftKings Casino, it's the holiday season, so you know they're extra giving. If you use the promo code MOATS when you first sign up, you will receive $2,000 in deposit bonus money. Essentially, you put in $2,000, they'll put in an extra $2,000. You put in $1,000, they'll put in an extra $1,000. Whatever you do, up to $2,000 on your initial deposit, and you put that promo code MOATS, and DraftKings Casino will match it. It is a awesome concept. So stop wasting time. Download the app, use the promo code, and get an opportunity to make a little money. But what we do know is this, though, Deke. Sometimes people struggle with, gambling.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might need crisis counseling. Sometimes you might even need referral services, Deke. And you know what I would tell them?
What's that?
If you have a problem, you better call 1-800-GAMBLER. I say 1-800-GAMBLER. I say 1-800-426 2537. Unplugged, man. So yeah, let's get to Devin Bush's interview. Okay, what could possibly be going on with my 5'5" brethren? Who was this interview with, by the way?
The Steelers. It was a press conference. Yeah, it was on their YouTube channel, so it was just a bunch of beat reporters asking questions.
Okay.
It was him and James Washington they had on Monday. Now, there's two main things, and I guess we could kind of go through the nuances of it too, but one of the main ones, I'm hoping this article just has both of them in it so I don't have to switch, but he was asked about his fifth-year option and kind of what he thinks about it, if he is even thinking about it. Mm-hmm. He goes, no, not really. I mean, I just play football, honestly. I go week to week, and this is where it gets bad. And so I don't even know who we play next week yet. And I'm probably going to figure that out on Wednesday.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right.
But I would love to be here in Pittsburgh. If they want me here, then they will show. But I don't think about the business side of it yet. But I would love to be here.
I don't even know I'm playing this week. Bro, you've been off since Thursday. You've been done since Friday. You had the weekend off. Oh my God. All right, keep going. All right.
Well, with that.
Yo, what?
Is there anything to that? I feel like once Sunday's over, typically, even though that was a Thursday game, shouldn't you just know, on Monday at least, just who you play?
All right. Part of me, I do get what he's saying.
Okay.
But the other part is kind of like, it just sounds bad. So I'm laughing because we are very single focus, one track minded, especially during the season, right? Everything is just, you're so locked in on who this upcoming game is, right? Who this upcoming opponent is, that it was times where if you asked me if we're on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you say, who do we play the following week or 2 weeks down the line? I really couldn't tell you because I was just so locked in on this week's opponent. But with that being said, once the game was over,
right,
and 2 days had passed, 24-hour rule, I'm going to know who I'm playing next. Is it a home game? Is it a away game? Is it in the morning? Is it at night? Because when you talk about formulating your schedule throughout the week,
prepping,
whether you're and not just the practice schedule, I'm talking about your rest and recovery, your massages, your seeing your chiropractors, things like that. You got to know what day you're playing on or what time you're playing on so you can make sure you're getting your treatments in the right amount of time for you to heal up and for you to have the most benefits from that. So you would need to know who the heck you playing, where you playing, what time you playing. Like, what if you thinking, you playing in Tennessee and he's thinking he's going to travel on Saturday? You might be in the wrong place. It could be in the wrong state because we playing at home this week. So that's my thing. I'm just like, I get what you're saying a little bit, but at the same time, but continue though.
So you think it's a little blown out of proportion?
Just slightly, but at the same time, I don't know because he doesn't give me a lot of like reason to believe otherwise. Right? Like, now.
Shouldn't there be extra film stuff going on Monday, Tuesday?
I feel like it should. That's what I'm saying. When did the interview come out though?
Yesterday.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, this wasn't last
maybe
week.
It came out.
This wasn't on Friday. No,
this
was
what I was
yesterday.
thinking. I'm like, maybe it came out Friday, and that's why. Yeah, that makes it look worse. That makes it a lot worse.
And it would maybe even be a little bit better if he said, "I don't know who we play right now. I'm going to find out in like an hour or something."
Or just be saying like, "Hey man, I'm just
not
locked
Wednesday.
in on
you got 48 hours from now to Wednesday.
Not Tuesday." Because like
just Google.
And the thing that's funny is this though, during the season, most of the time, like if you play on a Sunday, Monday is the off day, or excuse me, Monday you would come in and watch that game over, and then Tuesday's your off day. Wednesday you start back practice, but 90% of us are already starting on tape, or at least we were under the impression that 90% of us would be starting that tape on Monday night. Because if you wait till Wednesday, you've already lost 2 days of preparation. You've already lost 2 days of just getting more familiar with with the opponents they're going to do. So just think about this, Deke. If I tell you you can have 3 days to prepare for a team versus 5 days to prepare for a team, you probably want to take the 5 days, right? It'll make it where it's not as cluttered. Things are slowing down for you. You just have a better understanding of the intricacies of how a team wants to attack you. You trying to do it in 3 days, your understanding is not going to be to the same level. And when I hear that type of stuff, part of me is like, I'm not surprised based on when you watch the tape and it looks like at times like, yeah, sometimes you got really good plays. And in some plays, I'm like, I don't know what you're looking at. But if you're waiting until Wednesday to start figuring out who you're playing, I'm just thinking to myself, I know that Wednesday morning meeting where they introduce the team, that's going to be about 40 to an hour. Then you're going to have Butts, the DC, going to get into some more detail. That's about 40 minutes, hour. Then after that, you can go have a little walkthrough, or excuse me, have a position group meeting, another 40 minutes. You have your walkthrough practice, but it's not a lot of time on just Wednesday to be learning who you're playing against, learning who what they want to do well, what they struggle with, and also accounting for you fixing your own issues also. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, man. I'm not a fan of that, baby.
Okay, so here's the second big one.
Yeah.
Now, they were asking him a lot about his injury, how he's coming back of it, the mental approach, how's that affected him. So they were kind of beating a dead horse with some of that stuff. Like some of the questions, it's like, what else do you want him to say? Like the one was Mike Tomlin and Butler said that you need more reps to get more acclimated, to get up to speed so you can read and react.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and they were like, do you agree with that? Do you agree like you're not up to speed? That he's like, I don't know. Like, what else do you want him to say? Oh no, I'm not ready. They're completely right. And then they kept asking him stuff along those lines where it was just like, all right, bro. He kind of navigated it pretty good, but then this was another one. I do think this one's blown out of proportion because if you actually listen to it, I don't think he's trying to take the blame off himself necessarily, but let me just read the quote.
Okay.
Obviously, nobody on the Steelers is playing up to their potential. Nobody's playing good football. I'm not going to single myself out. And that was it. I thought there was going to be more to that quote, but that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see how people would take that, though. Yeah, I could see that. I do agree, though. That I would need to hear him just to hear the context of it, but I could see how that could be.
I'm saying, like, he said that, and then he just rattled off some more cliches about, like, we all got to do our part and stuff. Right. We're not playing our best. Although, I don't know, Minka Fitzpatrick's playing pretty damn good.
Cam Hayward, I would think, is playing
right. So there are players that I think are playing kind of up to their potential. I'm
saying, bro.
A few of them, at least.
Yeah.
Big Ben last game.
TJ went healthy.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
That's about it. I mean, because the other stuff, they were trying to really ask him about, like, what's the toughest part, the mental preparation, how you've been adjusting to your knee. What did your first 2 years feel like to you compared to the third year? And then the one thing I will say, there was one question, it kind of felt like he was pointing to even getting ready for next season, which was weird. Because
I did see somebody say that, like, the fact that he's already preparing for next season.
He was talking about off season and next season. It was weird. Yeah. I think it was actually part of that answer where he just kept going off like, yeah, we got things to do this year, but then we're on a good pace right now. We got to pick it up these next 4 games, and then even like the off season and the next season we could build off it.
Oh,
I think it was all in the same thing, but yeah, he was just spouting out some cliches there, and is what it is.
But no, think about, I guess it's not too different, not to the same extent, but still seem like ballpark. We talked about like with Chase Claypool, sometimes when he talks to the media, how even though his comments might not be fully egregious or malicious and things like that, because of who he is and kind of the track record now, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt anymore. With Devin, it's getting to that point a little bit. So that's why when you make questionable comments or comments that don't seem to be as team friendly or as, one band, one sound, with certain players, it's going to be a little bit heightened just because of how they've been acting. And you throw it on the fact that he hasn't been having his best season, right? He's been struggling up and down. Even his last game, very, very up and down. So all of that plays into it as well. But man, I hope he's not focused on the offseason right now. Hopefully he could get this thing and just figure out who he playing this week.
That's what's weird about it, because when they asked him about the 5th year option, he's like, no, I'm not. I'm week to week. I don't even know my bonus.
But now he's like,
I don't think he was happy to be there, to be honest with you. If you look at his facial expressions or even how he answered some of these questions too, like he wasn't too thrilled to be there.
No, I could definitely see that. First off, when you lose, nobody wants to do media, especially when you're coming off of a loss. It's like, I don't mind us having a losing record at the time or even being 500, but at least let us come off of a win when I got to talk to the media. It's just a different vibe to it,
The one that was hilarious, though, I think it was one of the earlier ones. They asked him about the personnel changes at linebacker.
Ooh.
And what he thought of that.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you talking about Buddy Johnson at the end of the game? And he was like, yeah, I think that was good to get Buddy Johnson some reps. It was just a good time to give him some reps. They put him with me at some points, and they put him with Show.
Uh-huh.
It was just funny to me. It's like, no, that point in the game is a very critical moment. That's a very critical. It wasn't like garbage time where you just throw him out there.
He needed some reps, because that was the one thing that when I went back and watched the tape, that's what I started to notice. I was like, man, I thought it was a clean swap. No, Buddy was in over here. Buddy got in over there. Then Marcus Allen was getting in, and it was in that second half. He's just like, bro. But like Allen though, the way they use Marcus Allen, I don't necessarily believe that they were benching one of those two guys. They used him the way that we would use Spillane on those third down dime packages. He would come in, and typically we would have Spillane rushing. Whereas this time they were leaving Marcus Allen one-on-one with Dalvin Cook, and Cook was just torching him. Like coverage wise, it was bad. And a couple of the runs were on him as well, but it was just, you could just tell he didn't have a feel for it the way Spillane does in terms of like how deep you want to get when you're bluffing, right? Making it like you're going to blitz, because if he runs the ball like Dalvin did a couple of times, it's essentially one-on-one. So you can't be stuck backside. You got to be able to get over top to make those plays. And Marcus was just struggling with that a lot early on in the game. But Buddy, they definitely put Buddy in for Schobert at times. Yeah. You look and I'm like, oh, that's not package related.
Maybe we'll see him a little bit more.
I don't know, man. Shoot, he was out there. I want to say he was out there when Bush caused the interception. He might have been out there then on that play. Yeah, when I was I was like, okay, all right. I'm seeing him running around. Like he was all right. It wasn't that the like crazy one way or the other, but it was like, all right, it's good to see you in this situation a little bit. But then they did go back to Schobert though. And that was the other part. That's why I was like, I don't know if it was a hard bench, if they were trying to do like what they did with Claypool, where it was, let me pull you real quick, get your attention and put you back out there, because Schobert and Bush definitely finished it together. But it was definitely a part in that third, fourth where they were rotating. I don't know what the rhyme or reason was, but they were definitely doing some movement, man.
It was just a good time to get him some reps.
Yeah, I was like, I say 45. I'm like, bro, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah.
The only one that's jarring to me was the whole, I go week to week, I don't even know who I'm playing. That was it. Because everything else in the interview, the whole, I'm not going to single myself out. Maybe he hears a bunch of the noise and doesn't, just came on the defensive. Because even the question, I'm telling you, like, I can understand why he would be on the defensive with some of these questions. It's like, what else do you want to say? Do you want to say, I don't believe in myself?
Yeah. Well, you already know why they're going to be asking those questions anyways. When you have the high expectations, but because of how the media is set up this year, these past 2 years with COVID, a lot of those type of questions would have already been asked throughout the season. You know, when you have your media scrums with the beat writers in the locker room, where you see them like walk up and catch a guy. But now these past 2 years with COVID, it's scheduled. So you're only able to talk to whoever they say is going to be available, and it's on Zoom. So whatever questions you might have had all season long, you got to wait until you get that one opportunity. And for a guy like Devin, who's been under fire because of his play this season, they haven't been allowing him to talk. They've been essentially saying, you know, we'll protect you. We'll put Claypool out. We'll put Deontay. We'll put, you know, this guy out there, and ultimately shield him. This is one of the ones where obviously they had to have him talk, but they tried to control it by, you know, doing it through their channel and stuff like that. But it's still, you're going to have questions that people are going to want asked, and definitely tougher questions like that. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was just more of the I don't know who plays next week. That was jarring to me. Everything else
that's
is
pretty
like,
funny though.
Whatever. Especially, if you listen to it back, I think you'll get what I'm saying. Now, how much of a big deal is it? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you brought up your perspective. I feel like you would know the day after, at least. Who
I don't think it's. If it was anyone else, it's not a big deal, because it's Devin. You just don't know mentally where he's at.
Like if he's doing the extra or not. It's the stuff that you brought up.
Right. And that's my thing. It's like, I don't have an issue in terms of the comments, but if he is being sincere and that's how he prepares for a game week, well, we might have identified something that he could do to improve himself. Hey, instead of waiting until Wednesday at 9:00, because that's when the meeting starts. You're not in special teams meeting. Special teams at 8:20. So the regular team meeting is Wednesday morning, 9:00. All right. That's when you first get introed, and that meeting's an hour long. But Coach Tom's going to be introing the offense, the defense, and special teams. So if you're waiting until 9:00 on Wednesday to just get introduced to this team and their concepts, and that's before you even get introduced to our game plan, you can see how much you're losing just by trying to cram all that in on one day, if that is the case. Now, we're just going off what he said. You know, if that could be him just saying it tongue-in-cheek, but because of who he is.
Tongue-in-cheek, saying it on accident, maybe meant Tuesday.
And I think it would be different if he was playing at a higher level. You give him the benefit of the doubt. But when you've been watching how he's playing and some of the things that I've brought up, it's like, man, I think some of that could be preparation related. And you hear that comment, you're like, well, you know, sometimes if it walked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, it might be a duck, man. That's all. But anywho.
Yeah, there's Google. You could type in Steelers schedule.
Hold on. Let me see something quick. Hey Siri, who do the Steelers play this week? Check it out.
And then you're right. Like it can't hurt.
Oh yeah, it's a Titans 1 p.m.
It can't hurt to know that. And then on Monday, Tuesday, maybe a little bit on your own time, just go over some film on the team.
That's all I'm saying. Like it ain't hard. It's the NFL, bro. And it's the other part, right? He ain't got to be like us common folk. Us common folk, you know, we got to wait to get you condensed, to get you all 22s and all these other things. We got to wait a couple days to get that stuff, right? Man, he had this thing set Thursday night. Yeah, he had his tape Thursday night from the game. And then as soon as the Titans finished their game, oh yeah, he had that thing ready for him too. So it's just like, come on, baby. We got to do better here, man. We got to do better.
Maybe he was just saying it to really make his point emphatic that he's really week to week.
I really
he's
hope
really
so,
not focused on the 5th-year option, and he didn't really mean it. He didn't really mean it.
So, bro. I really hope so. It's just hard when you turn the tape on, bro. I watched that last game, and I'm like, he made some good plays too. That's the crazy part. I'm watching in the game, and I'm like, yo, this is a dope play. This is a heck of a read. Man, you look good right here. And then he got some plays in that game, and I'm just like, bro, this can't be the same player. I'm like, I'm not looking at the same guy. There's no way you would do this when I just saw you 3 plays ago make this excellent play right here. Like, how did you go from here where I'm like, y'all should highlight this. This is dope to what? Get him out of here. Like, it's just crazy. But got to be consistent, man. Got to be more consistent, baby.